Hey YouTube, it is the next day and we've got more stuff to do on the 430 conversion. We have the shop dog Mo who is assisting us. You can see he is investigating and doing quality control on Josh's work right here. I think it passed. He's content with that.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
We got to get the shift box in, so we've got the pedals are in. We don't adjust those until later, but we gotta get the shift box in. We gotta get the shift cables attached to the shift box. We've already run the cables through the hole in the floor, so let me show you all this stuff where we're at on the inside of this thing. All right, so here we are. We've got 3 pedals. Holy crap. And then you can see down here, we've got the shift cables running through the floorboard. So there's actually a plug there that you pop out. So what we're gonna do now is start installing the center console, and then we'll connect the shift cables to the center console. It's actually not too terribly difficult, but we'll get that set up, and then once we get those done, then we can start lifting the car up and attaching them to the shift box on the outside of the transmission. Oh man. Ooh! Listen to this. Clankety clank. Oh. Yes. So good.
Can't wait.
I know, so good.
We're finishing this today.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
We'll at least get it driving today.
Yeah. Woo! Okay, YouTube, so we are doing an eDiff delete conversion, so that means there will be no need for any of the F1 pump stuff. So all of this gets to go yeet, and it's gone. Extra weight savings, less crap to break, more reliable. So all the hoses and everything related to this can just get pulled out. Also, this red wire that goes down there, that is for the PIS sensor. That one we can just cut because there will be no PIS anymore. So boop, out it goes. All this crap, bye-bye. Okay, so here is the eDiff controller. I've already disconnected the wire for it. So you can choose to pull this out or just leave it here as a, like, to prevent it from leaking. But these 2 hoses we're gonna pull off. That way we can disconnect. So those actually run over to the F1 pump. And then over here, there's a sensor right here. Again, you can just leave the sensor in if it's not leaking, or you can block it off. So we'll probably just leave it since there's no signs of leaks, no reason to disrupt it. So we're just gonna pull off these 2 right here and then put little blocking caps that came with the kit. Alrighty, so you can see we blocked off those ports. And those are the lines just dangling, just kind of draining the F1 fluid. By the way, the F1 fluid was in really good shape, so clearly this car had been maintained very well. So now we got to take off the squid. So this is the actuators for the F1 system. This is the heart of the F1 system. And here are all the lines that run to it. So we're going to disconnect all this stuff. You got to pull off this heat shield right here. It's a tight squeeze with the catalytic converter right here.
These are 6mm nuts, by the way.
Yeah, they're dinky little things. So you pop all those off, get the heat shield out of the way, then we can unscrew this, pry it off. When we do that, we'll probably have a little bit of gearbox fluid come out, but not a whole lot. And then we put on the new manual system. So this is where we're getting to the really good stuff. All right, so there's a stupid heat shield that is right between the cat and the squid. What we did is we just loosened up the cat and we were able to twist it, giving us more room to move the heat shield out of the way. You can kind of bend the heat shield a little bit, so don't be afraid to, like, give it some meat, but don't go too crazy because it will fall apart. So this way we didn't have to pull out the cat completely. Also, while Josh was working on that, I connected the clutch line. So here's the clutch line. It runs all the way up there to the front of the car. And then right here is our bleeder screw. So in a little while, we'll bleed the clutch fluid. And this will be a little bit different because since we're getting rid of the F1 system, we're gonna have to push through all of the fluid for the clutch until it pushes out all of the ATF fluid from the F1 system. So it's gonna be a lot of fluid. Like, we're gonna probably have to go through like at least a quart. Well, YouTube, there's the squid in all of its horribleness. So now we have to attach the outer shift box. So what Josh is doing is cleaning it up right there because that is the mating surface, and we have to put gasket sealer right here. So you really want to make sure you do a good job in cleaning it up. Don't use metal and scrape it. Use plastic.
Don't scrape it with the blade.
Yeah, you don't want to screw that stuff up. It'll be bad. So right here is where the shift box will go. The linkage arms will be up here, and then it'll kind of, you'll see. Yeah, just hang tight. All right, just so you know, you do have to remove the stud right there that Josh is working on, and then the one stud up there.
Special tool to do it.
Yeah, we tried my stud remover and it just stripped the threads off, and so that sucker was in there tight. We had to use some vice grips, good old-fashioned vice grips. And so once we get that off, then we can start mounting the rest of the stuff. You can see here's the where the shift cables actually mount to the system. We had a little bit of difficulty where we had to mount these in first before mounting the bracket because it was really, really tight squeeze. So that's just something of note. Also, you can see we have them dangling down here. You might be thinking, oh my God, they're dangling. Well, no big deal. First of all, we can zip tie them to this. But the second thing is the bottom panel will actually push them up. So we just wanted to keep them as far away from those headers as possible. We just don't need melted shift cables. That would suck. Well, YouTube, we ran into a problem. One of the studs broke off. So we gotta drill it out. Fun. All right, so we're gonna do the initial adjustment. And the way we wanna do this is we're gonna center the stick. So we're lowering the car all the way. And yeah, that's not centered. So we need to make sure that's completely in the center. And then the outer shift box on the transmission is also directly in the middle. So it's not in any gear.
Perfectly centered.
All right, that's perfectly centered. So what we do now is we loosen up the attachment points. Here, I'm gonna crawl under here. All right, so what we do is we loosen up these guys right here and then attach them to the mounting points on the shift arms, I guess. And then it's theoretically centered, and then we can do minor adjustments if necessary after that. All right, try some gears. Whoa, shit. So without the clutch, we can't really go into all the gears, but it's working. All right, let's bleed the clutch. All right, so Josh is in the front filling up with fluid. I'm using our air bleeder. So this thing is badass. Check this out. You turn it on, and it pulls a vacuum, and you can see it starts sucking the stuff down. So we just wait until we get nice clean fluid, and then we'll call it quits. We already got rid of all the red stuff, so you can see the red crap's already gone. But we want to make sure we get everything out. It should just be solid fluid. So until we get solid fluid, we're just going to sit here. In the meantime, we're going to continue on because we can set up some of the other things we need to do. We can do the electronic work to make sure that the computers are happy now that the F1 system's gone. Also, we're doing the eDiff delete, so it does both, and we can start putting in the console.
We are the first ones to do the F430 kit with the cluster programming and the ECU programming, all DIY, plug and play, good to go. So we're going to see how it goes.
Oh, and good news. Remember we were talking about how the reservoir wasn't kind of fitting right? So he's actually sending us a different reservoir with the new master cylinders.
All right, so we have this little jumper. It goes on this little harness right here. So we're going to unplug this, plug the jumper in, and that's all we got to do on this side. Okay.
Got it? Sweet.
That's it.
That was easy.
Super easy. Just tuck that back in there.
That is the eDiff delete. And you unplug the gray thing and plug it into the back of that. And plug that dongle in there. That's it.
So unplug this one?
Yeah. Yep. I think it's this. Oh, it's the wrong one. Sorry. Blue one.
Blue one. We're learning.
There you go.
Blue one. And then we just plug this in here?
Yeah, and then blue goes into the back of the device.
Oh, right there. Okay, got it.
Just turn it 90 degrees. Goes that one, yeah. I think it might be
Other way like this?
There, yeah.
There we go.
And that goes in the back of that.
So I need to email
Yeah, we got
the master and ask him where this wire goes because we're not sure. I'm assuming it's a ground wire, but I don't know. So we're going to email him and ask, and then once we figure out where that goes, we'll tuck this in there nicely. And theoretically,
that's it for the wiring?
That's it for the wiring.
Dude.
That would be awesome.
That's way easier.